Hi, this is the Teaserking with part two of my teaser trend analysis for 2011 by conference, where we're showing the best teams by conference to play and the teams to play against based on historical trends, which I find to be the most logical and useful way to pick the games. Also looking at, I don't just blindly pick by the trend, but it's a huge percentage. Of course, I look at graduation, injury, coach, things like that. But the primary focus is the team's 21 versus the spread in the teaser. I'm taking a long, hard look at them. Now, if they're starting quarterbacks out or their coach leaves, sort of like Ohio State, then I have to look at the trends differently and not use them until I see how the new people come in. Too much risk, too many variables. But if everything's consistent, this is an extremely good way to pick the games. So let's move on. We're going to the Big Ten now. And what I'm looking at is a trend analysis of the last few years, how the teams have fared, who's the best team to pick in the Big Ten, who's the best team to pick against. Last year was Ohio State, 12-1, by far the best team to pick. Since 09, Ohio State's 21-4. Iowa's 19-4. Minnesota's 18-4. And from 08, it's again Ohio State, and Iowa's 29-6, 83% are the two biggest ones that stand out. Since 2006, Wisconsin comes in at 45-14, 76%. They're always in the high 70s, but not always a great year. So the teams to play there would be Ohio State, Iowa, and Minnesota and Wisconsin. Keep in mind, Minnesota's got a new coach and quarterback. Iowa loses their quarterback and a lot of their defense, but the coach is there, so I look for the defense to still be strong because they'll just replace. They have the system in place. And then how quick the quarterback can get going. So those are the four teams that have been good. Play against teams, which means, oh, they're bad, let's play against them. The strangest one is Michigan at 10-2 last year against. Northwestern was 11-2 against. Indiana was 8-1 against. Minnesota, while they're on the play list, are on the play against list at 8-2. In the longer run, it's Michigan and Michigan State at 19-5, and Minnesota at 17-5 since 09. Since 08, it's Michigan and Michigan State. Michigan is 81%, Michigan State 78%. And since 06, it's Michigan at 47-14. And basically what this says is Michigan's a very popular team. They don't cover. If you go against them, when they are favored, they're not going to cover by a lot. And when they're the dog, they get beat. And it's basically been Rich Rodriguez. And that goes to my whole assumption of the coach. You bet the coach. Obviously, Jim Tressel is, in the same time span, Jim Tressel is 49-13 since 06. And Rich Rodriguez, and I don't know if he started, I know he was there like 3 years, is 47-14 bet against. But even if we go back 3 years, since 08, Ohio State's 31-8, 84%, and Michigan go against was 29-7, 81%. So that's the perfect analysis of betting the coach. You got a good coach, you bet him. You got a weak coach, you bet against them. Now you have the changing coach, so you got to look at Brady Hoke, which we'll do when we get to, we'll look at San Diego State, for example. Which I've already looked at this conference, but as long as I'm on it, if we look at San Diego State last year, they're 8-3 if you go with them, and 7-4 against. And let's see, in 2 years there since 09, San Diego State's 14-8 and 16-6 if you go against them. So there's no major trend there. Is there anything? They were 6-1 as a road dog, and that's probably their best trend against. 5-0 against as a road favorite. So basically on the road, Brady Hoke, you would take the dog. If Michigan's favored, you go against them. If they're the dog, you play them. That's it. So there's no major trends at San Diego State that you can look at and say, oh, that's going to be like Michigan, like we did with Notre Dame, where we're looking at Brian Kelly saying there's some huge trends at Cincinnati, home favorite, road dog. and now he's at Notre Dame. So home favorite road dog. That's where you're going to get the money with Notre Dame. That's about it. I mean, now you have Nebraska in there. I still have them in the Big 12 because it's pointless to put them in now, but in a couple of years we'll incorporate the Nebraska trends. They'll still be there and they'll still be in there, but it'll just be a different value. As far as this year, Iowa should be weaker. Iowa and Wisconsin lost their quarterback. Illinois should be stronger. Michigan, you have no idea. Michigan State should be good. And Ohio State's a big question because you just don't know. And Penn State is, again, they had a young quarterback, so they should have a good defense. That's the Big 10. Moving to the Big 12. There's 4 teams that are strong last year: Kansas State, Missouri, Oklahoma State, and Texas A&M. So you think, well, I'll just play Oklahoma. They're the best team. They were only 9-5 last year. So you don't want to just necessarily do that. Since 09, Kansas State is 80%, 16-4. And nobody's there in 08, and nobody's there in 06. There's a few technical trends. Colorado is 14-3 as a home dog. Nebraska's 14-3 as a road favorite. Oak State's 13-3 as a road favorite. Basically, Nebraska since 08 is 10-2 as a road favorite and 6-1 as a road dog. So they're 16-3 on the road, and that'll come into play in the Big 10. So that'll be very helpful. Outside of that, Texas A&M since 09 is 6-2 as a home favorite, 4-0 as a home dog, 4-1 as a road favorite. Their weaknesses is a road dog. So if you get Texas A&M at home, it's probably they're 10-2. It's a pretty good play. These are my macro looks of playing the roles of the team. This is where you want to play them. On the converse, playing against Texas, play against them 10-2. Texas Tech 9-3. Even Nebraska play against is 9-3. That shows they play a lot of close games. Since 09, play against Texas 19-8. Play against Kansas 17-5. And that's about it. So they were kind of a changing conference. Kansas, a couple years back, they covered every year. I mean, they covered every game. They were like 13-0. And since then, they've been lousy. Last year, 5-6. And for 09, Kansas was only 10-12, 17-5 against. So Kansas is slipping, and you can see Texas A&M's on the rise. Oak State's very good. Missouri's very good. So it's not always Oklahoma and Texas that you play. Actually, Texas is overspread, and they're 10-2 against. Here's a surprising Texas fact: since 09, if Texas is at home and you played against them, you're 11-1. 9-1 is a home favorite. 2-0 is a home dog. That's the beauty of these trends, because how could you ever think Texas at home is 11-1 against? It's just the way it goes. It's just the nature of the beast. A&M is a road dog. If you go against them, 9-2. Iowa State is a road dog. You go against is 11-3. Colorado 11-2. Kansas State 8-2. So there's a lot of problems with the road dogs. Missouri 12-3. If you go against as a road favorite. So you have a lot of trends. These are since 08. These the last trends I mentioned. So you have a lot there where it's kind of micro, where overall the percentage isn't. But when you dig into the certain role of the team, like they're not a good road dog, or they're very good at home, or they're very bad at home, then you can figure out where to play them. Next one is the Southeast Conference. Auburn was 11-0 last year. Arkansas was 10-1. Both lost their quarterback, so I don't think they'll both do as good. Since 09, Alabama's 19-5. Auburn's 18-5. Ark is 18-4, and LSU's 18-5. Since 08, Ark is 25-7, and Alabama's 27-9. And since 06, Arkansas and LSU are both 77%. Conversely, going against last year, Vandy was 10-2, Kentucky was 9-1. Since '09, Vandy's 18-5, and Kentucky's 15-5. We go back to '08, Auburn is 25-8 against, and LSU's 25-8 against. And back to '06, Auburn's 44-14 against. So Auburn had a good year with the quarterback. Generally, they've been a good team to go against. Any significant trends from '09? Auburn 8-2 home favorite. Mississippi's a good home favorite, 6-1. Ark's a good home favorite, 7-1. Alabama's a good road favorite, 10-2. Since '08, Alabama's 13-3 as a road favorite, and I say that because they're at Penn State in the second week. Depending on the spread, they would be a good play. Florida 15-2 as a road favorite, a la Urban Meyer, but still they're very strong. They'll win the games on the road. They have to, and they won't be a road favorite at Alabama, at Georgia, at some of these other games. Mississippi's 8-1 as a road dog. LSU 7-1 as a road dog. So you got certain teams that hit their personalities. The play against teams since '09 would be nothing really sticking out. Kentucky at home is 8-1 if you go against them since '08. Georgia's 11-3 against as a home favorite. Kentucky is 11-2 against at home. Auburn on the road is 13-3 against, and South Carolina is 15-4 against. South Carolina is 6-1 against as a road favorite, but this year they should be pretty good. And the last is the Pac-12, and basically the best team there is Oregon at 10-2, Stanford at 9-3, and Arizona State at 9-1. I look for Arizona State to have a great year, as well as Stanford and Oregon. Since '09, Oregon's 20-5, Stanford's 20-5, Arizona State 16-4. Since '08, Stanford 30-7, Arizona 28-9. You gotta love Jim Harbaugh. All he does is cover, cover, cover. Hopefully the 49ers will take over, and then we'll have another pro team to be picking on. Against last year, Arizona 10-2. Since '09, UCLA 20-5 against. Arizona and Arizona State 18-6 and 15-5. That's the beauty of the teasers. They could be a very good team to play with and a very good team to play against because they play a lot of close games. They're competitive, and so you go either way. Some other trends, micro trends. Cal is 10-2 if you play against them as their own favorite, but they're a great home favorite. Cal's 13-2 as a home favorite. Arizona State's 13-2 as a home favorite. These are since 2008. Cal starting a new quarterback this year. I don't think they'll be as strong as they normally are. Arizona State's 11-3 as a road dog. Conversely, going against Arizona State is 7-0 if you go against them as a home dog. UCLA as a road dog, 12-3 if you play against. Same with Washington, 12-3. And this is since 2008. Since 2006, Washington is a home favorite, 10-2 against. Cal, road favorite, 17-5 against. So basically you play Cal at home, and as a road favorite you stay away from them. And UCLA is a terrible road dog at 12-3 against. So USC, which you think would cover all the time, doesn't. It's Oregon, it's Arizona State, and it's Stanford. It's Cal at home as the favorite. Against it's UCLA, it's Arizona, Arizona State. And again, it's where the game's at. So these trends come in very, very handy, but they're the first way to apply, but they're not the only way to apply the trends and the analysis. You look at that now. For Arizona, they have Nick Foles coming back. They should be a pretty good team. Their coach is there. So I look for them to cover a lot. Arizona State will be strong. Stanford, I know Harbaugh will hurt them leaving, but I think they'll be okay. Anyway, this is the Teaser King. Thank you very much. My time is running out. It gives me 15 minutes. Please go to my site, www.teaserking.com. Ask me any questions or leave comments here. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and good luck to you.